Hello, everyone. My name is Slappy Burger, and welcome back to, I believe it's part 20 of my journey through Minecraft. So I'm over here in the village right now. This is what we built last episode, the kind of the beginnings of a village that we're working on here. Um, we still have to put up our market stalls and our castle, which is definitely going to get bigger. Every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is way too tiny to do anything with. I mean, I don't want the castle to be too big, but it is still going to be like a castle. And also, it's going to be like not like the most awesome castle you've ever seen. It's literally going to be like a wall and like a block in the middle, like a real old time castle, not like a palace. But the reason I started here in this area was because I wanted to ask you guys right off the bat, what else should I add in here? You know, like obviously I think I might add some more houses here and there. But you know, in terms of like, you know, we have our bakery here, we have our blacksmith here. What other things can we add in here to kind of fill this space up? I'm still fully ready to expand the dirt further into this little desert area here, and maybe even over this way as well. I mean, I've already started on it too. That's what that grass trim there is for, just so I can mark where the natural terrain is for when I do actually go and expand it. But yeah, what should I add to this area here? Anything welcome. Probably a farm for sure, like a proper farm. But I don't know. Besides that, maybe a lumber yard or something. I don't know. Just I need some ideas on some stuff to add. Anyways, one last thing before I kind of talk about what we're doing today, which I'm just going to preface is nothing too crazy. I did mess with the audio levels in OBS a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I wanted people occasionally keep saying that the audio is a little too quiet, like voice wise. But it's not enough to warrant like a massive change. I've only ever had like one major audio problem, and that was because the audio levels in my editing program just like bumped it down by like almost 20 decibels. So it was like literally inaudible. But I did mess a little bit with the audio levels in OBS. So hopefully my voice sounds at least a little bit better. But what are we doing today? So you may have noticed I got my hotbar all sorts of stocked up. I got armor on. Haven't wore armor in who knows how many episodes now. It's been since I've worn armor. Today, we are going on a mining journey. We're doing another mining episode. So I don't really know where I'll go. I don't really know how far I'll go, but we're going to go mining today. And in order to go mining, I'm not going to do strip mining or anything because let's be honest, nobody wants to watch strip mining on YouTube, right? But we're going to be doing some actual caving, some spelunking. But of course, that means we need to actually find a cave that's worth something. So when I find a cave, I will be back with you guys. The main reason I wanted to do some mining stuff today was because my diamond reserves are getting pretty low. Last time I checked, we only had 42 diamonds, and that is unacceptable. I know that's more than like that's more than enough to make tools and stuff, but I want to have at least a stack again. Like I feel poor now. I can't be poor. Not in this Minecraft world. I gotta be a rich man. On top of that, I want more gold. Always want more gold. Just to have it. I love gold. When we do finally start updating and we have access to build on the nether roof, you already know we're going to go absolutely just insane with a gold farm. Especially when notch apples are craftable. That I don't know. I think that becomes a thing in version 1.0. But in terms of the gold farms, I know notch apples are craftable then, but in terms of the gold farms, I'm not actually sure when those became craftable. So might have to do a little bit of research there, but let me tell you, we will probably be updating. I don't want to say soon, but it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. So soon enough, we're going to have us all sorts of new crazy stuff to work with and a whole lot of things that you're not supposed to have in our repertoire. So we're going to have all sorts of stuff to work with. And also, I think I completely misused the word repertoire there, but I don't care. We do what we want over here. All right. We may have found a winner. Let's we're not going to be able to see much of anything for now, but I just want to see. It was not a winner. It was not a winner. It was a terrible, terrible, worthless cave, but that's okay. I'll still take the iron. They can't all be zingers. In the name of the Primus, I don't know if it's an album or compilation, but they can't all be zingers. So I suppose we'll just keep searching. All right, I have a good feeling about this one. This one's got to be good, right? This one looks nice and fat. Yeah, I'm thinking this one might be pretty good, actually. Okay, all right. All right, we're on a limited food supply here, so getting jumped by 15 mobs all at once is really not cool. I refuse to play on peaceful when I'm actually caving, because then it just feels kind of boring. You know what? Yeah, y'all can fight each other down there. Oh my god. And ammonium down there. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes, the wonders of Minecraft caving. Now, obviously, the ultimate end goal here is to get, oh my god, there's skeletons. Okay. I don't know why there's so many right here, but how did I just walk past this? Hello. There's a spider spawner. No. Spawned right on top of me. All right. Not cool, dude. Not cool at all. Don't want all those saddles. I do want this mossy stone. Okay. There are too many mobs right now. The fact that they all spawn just like right here all at once. Like normally, you're dispersed. You're not all spawning right on top of me. It's really pleasant when you guys do that, actually. And when I say pleasant, I'm meaning when you're not spawning all on top of me all at once. That's when it's okay. This is just unacceptable. All right. All right, get over. Okay. Can we keep going this way? I don't know, actually. I don't remember. We're going to get very lost in here, but that's why we brought the compass, because then we can just mine up and... Holy... Okay. Don't know where you came from. Just got stuff just deciding to spawn in now. Dang. All right. You want to shoot something down there and start getting, like, attacked by it? That would be awesome. You did that. Okay. There's still more somewhere. Saw a spider over there. Yep. Get out of here. Why is this so... Why is this so terrible just right away? There's cave noises. There's 800 skeletons right here. Come on. There we go. Alright, we're already down a... That's crazy. They messed up the skeleton. Okay. I think now... Now it might actually be explorable. Okay. Alright, if I fought through all of that for nothing, I'm gonna be a little upset about the, this cave. Because that was... absolutely ridiculous. Now, the reason I brought mushroom stew, and it's probably pretty obvious, but it's just because I have the chance of finding mushrooms while I'm down here. And obviously, we have the bread now, too, so that's really helpful. But the mushroom stew, we could find maybe a cave where so much mushrooms grew, and now we're just, like, loaded on mushrooms forever while we're doing this. So, something hopping around down here. Somewhere. There's a squid. It's hard to see him, but there's a squid up there. I think that's what I'm hearing. 3 squids. Put you out of your misery. Don't worry, guys. Iron is fine, but I still really want the diamonds and gold. Maybe lapis too. I'll take lapis too, honestly. You know, I've always been a fan of lapis, even outside of, like, when it had, like, you know, I don't want to say when it was useless, because, you know, if you think any item in Minecraft is quote-unquote useless, then I think you're thinking about the game wrong, because it's a sandbox game. It's up to you to find the use for the item. So, like, if you're saying that lapis is useless, that just means you're not creative enough to use it. Like, just admit it. A useless item doesn't exist in Minecraft. You're just not using it right. Right, so that part of the cave was a dead end. Hopefully these other parts aren't. There was some lava back over here somewhere. I think it was this way. Let's see. Yep, give me all the ores. Still take those. Hopefully this video is still like, you know, if you're watching it, you can actually still at least semi-see stuff. And, oh yeah. I think we found a big cave here. Let's see. Ooh. All right. Love diamond swords. Able to 2-shot creepers. It's really nice. Take the gunpowder, why not? Hopefully this isn't boring. I swear, if this part is, dude, I will freak out if I don't find a single diamond in here after fighting through all those mobs. I'm gonna freak out. It doesn't look like there's too much down here, unfortunately. What? Freaked me out. Thought I was about to get crushed. Okay. Let's see. So we're down there, I guess. And then doesn't look like there's anything down here. Nope. Why would there be? You know, you're kind of thinking about it, right? Minecraft caves, like what they are now, at least, are just too much. I think I've talked about that before. But like modern Minecraft caves just don't feel the same as older Minecraft caves. I think there's something about just the more like claustrophobic feeling that these older caves have that the newer caves just don't. Like they're honestly too big. It's easy to get lost in those caves, but it's easier to get lost in these caves for like a different reason. And that, I personally feel like, kind of takes away from the new caves. I mean, I definitely like the new dripstone caves are pretty cool. And what is it, the lush caves, the ones with all like the plants and moss and stuff. Those ones are really cool. Don't get me wrong. But it is very, I don't know how to put it. It's like too much. I like the biomes. I just don't like the cave size. Like they're just too big, and I feel like it's just a way to like, I don't know. Just, whoa. Okay. That kind of freaked me out. Okay. Let's see. This is a dead end. This is, if all we're getting out of this cave is some coal and some iron. All right. I think we might be about done with this cave, actually, which is really tragic. I wanted more. But don't we always want more? I must be content with what I get. I think there was another part up here somewhere, wasn't there? I might be wrong, but pretty sure there was. Okay, I guess not. It also looks like it... Is it becoming nighttime? I think it's turning day. Oh, there's something right there. What's up here? Probably not much, I would imagine. Yep. What? Give me the coal. Yeah, I think this cave is spent. So we'll just get out of here and keep searching for another one. I thought that burning skeleton over there was a redstone torch, and I was gonna have to like start freaking out about Herobrine. Dude, I remember like watching those like Herobrine spotted videos like religiously when I was younger. I would watch those all the time because, you know, I would just be like, and it's really funny how they were too, because like they'd be like, what was that? What was that? Did you guys hear that? And then they like turn around and then they're like, oh, and then it's just like a literal like PNG with like a white background of Herobrine standing there. Hello. Oh, what could this be? Something worth my time or not? Could be interesting. Ooh. Could be really interesting. Hold on. Let's see. Let the game cook real quick. Okay. This might be something. I hear a lot of other mobs walking around me. Definitely creepers because there's no sound coming from them. So we're gonna have to be careful, but right as night fell, I just found this convenient hole in the ground. So that's really handy, actually. This way's a dead end, so maybe the other way will be something. Right, if this isn't worth my time, I did hear zombie noises not too far away, but I'm thinking this cave might be at least something. At least gold, you know, like at least give me some lapis or gold down here. Little stream of lava. Is it about to be another disappointment? Gotta have something back here, right? Sometimes they have like, I found like little caves just mining through those. Like sometimes you'll mine like an ore and then it'll expose another cave, but sometimes through those dead ends, I'll like to mine those out because I have found caves behind those dead ends before. Big old disappointment cave. Of course. You know what? We're going to start using the X-ray cheat because we have access to it and I'm going to abuse it. So let's go back to the deepest point and then we're going to mine down to get some mobs. But first I'm going to mine this coal. See, I really want to find a nice sized cave because I have like I've been thinking about things to actually talk about and I want to like yap while I do it. I want to yap while I mine because that sounds fun. So that's like the main thing this episode. I want it to be a yapping episode and we're already 45 minutes into recording and I haven't gotten like anything to say for it. Okay, I guess I missed just like this whole section right here. Well, it was a whole lot of nothing anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's see. So we at least have something there. We got something further down. Let's hit this spot first. Because just because there's one mob in there doesn't mean that it's a big area, and just because there's 4 mobs means it's a big area. You know, sometimes there's only 1 mob in the big area. Zombie, out of here. See what I mean? Look at this. This might actually go somewhere. Right. I don't like that. I hate skeletons so much. Okay. Alright, buddy. You and me. Easy enough. Alright. So, first thing I wanted to talk about. So, yesterday, or not yesterday. Oh, I guess it was technically yesterday, because that's when I was wrapping up the recording for and editing the last video that came out. So, I guess we'll say yesterday. But last episode, I mentioned that I was like job hunting, right? So I really, for some reason, want to become a bartender. I don't even drink all that much. Like I'm 22. I do drink like maybe once every 2 weeks, and it's usually not even enough to get drunk. I don't really like getting drunk or anything. I usually just kind of like, just like every so often I'll be like, you know what? A shot of whiskey sounds kind of nice right now. And then I'll have a shot. I don't usually get too fancy with it, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll create some concoctions, like gin and tonic is always pretty good. But I decided to go and apply all throughout my town to become a bartender. And every single place I told them, I was like, well, I don't really have bartending experience, So what my plan is, you know, I can work as a server, and then if I perform well enough, you guys, and if you're able to, I'll step up to be a bartender. But like my end goal is to become a bartender one way or another. And they would all be like, "Oh, cool, cool." And then I'd fill out their application, or they would tell me they're not hiring. You know, whatever. It's fine. Job market right now is absolutely abysmal, at least where I live. I know probably in some towns it's better, but yeah, I fill out their stuff. And there was one place that really that called me back. Okay. And I'm pretty sure now I'm not gonna be like butthurt about it. I'm not actually gonna like take this to court or anything. But they called me back after my application, like a couple days later, and they were like, "Hey, is this so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is. Who is this?" And I was like, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is that bar you applied to." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Are you getting back to my application? How was it?" And they were like, "Well, we've decided to go with other options." And I was like, "Okay. Um yeah, that's fine. That's cool. It's whatever." And then the person on the line says quite possibly the craziest thing ever. And they said, like, they told me why they didn't hire me, which normally that's not like a problem. Like if they're like, "Well, we went with this guy because he had more experience or whatever," I'd be like, "Okay, cool. That's fair." But like they were like, "Well, this other guy that was 26 applied, and usually we only hire people that are over the age of 25." And I was like, "Huh, interesting." I'm pretty sure that falls under discrimination, but I'm not gonna actually pursue that because I don't have the time or effort for that. And also, I'm not really gonna let it bother me all that much, but like, that's like a really dumb reason to not hire someone. Like, obviously, if they're not old enough to serve alcohol or work in a bar, like, yeah, you can't hire them. But I'm 22. If you can consume alcohol, then you can serve it. You have to be 18 to serve, at least in the state of Colorado. So I'm not really sure the exact legality of that, but the reason I know it's discrimination is actually because I'm a manager at my current job. I work with hiring. So, I can't tell someone, like, I mean, you have to be extremely careful with what you say, right? If you say like, "Oh, we didn't hire you because you're not 18," if it's a job that doesn't require you to be 18, you can actually sue for that as discrimination. That is actually a thing you can sue for. It has won people court battles before. Um, so yeah, like, normally like the discrimination stuff applies to like race, gender, religious beliefs, sexuality, stuff like that. Like stuff that like typical actual discrimination falls under. But if you've ever done a job applicate like interview, they typically don't ask you like, "Hey, are you 18?" Instead, they would say, "Hey, are you old enough to serve alcohol?" They wouldn't say, "Oh, are you 18?" Because either way, we're going to probably figure out what your date of birth is. And if you're not old enough to do the job, then we're going to know that you're not old enough to do said job. So I just like as a manager, it was kind of like, wow, you guys got to be like really careful because I'm not going to say anything about it because even though I'd rather get a new job, my job isn't like it's still sustaining me and it's still not the worst thing ever. So you just got to be careful with what you say because if I was like desperate for a job with that information, I don't want to say I would pursue it because how would I afford it? But I might at least say something like, like it's like, that falls under discrimination, You can't be saying that. I'm not really sure if that's like a nationwide thing for the US, but in Colorado it's definitely a thing. They went over that during my manager training and interviews. They're like, "You cannot ask for the age of the individual. We cannot reject someone purely based on their age. If they are not old enough to do this job, you ask them and you like them, you ask them if they'd like to do this other job instead. Make them make the decision." So it's like, you just got to be really careful with that. But yeah, at the time of recording this though too, I also actually did manage to find a place to move into because that was something I was talking about. like, I mean, I'd already found the place to move into when I was doing the last one, but we weren't really, we were waiting on a response. Me and my roommates were waiting on a response for our applications, but they actually did accept our applications, and we got the place. So I'm gonna be moving in on August 11th. So um, maybe expect a little bit of a slowdown in videos around that time as well, just while I'm moving. Also, maybe expect me to go AWOL while I don't have internet, because I'm gonna assume I'm probably not gonna have internet for, you know, at least a little bit while I'm over there. So that's obviously gonna put a stop to any YouTube videos being uploaded. But I'm very excited for that. I'm ready to move out. I was moved out a while back, but I had to move back in due to circumstances. So not really going to get into the details with that, but I did have to move back in with my parent, with my dad, after my last place. So I was moved out, but it's nice to be moved out again soon enough. So, but if it does like slow down my upload process a ton, I do finally have access to the ability to post community posts. So, you know, if you're one of the few people that watches my videos a lot, just know that I will probably be posting something on there, just notifying everyone of that move out. But the or not the move out, but the potential decrease in uploads and stuff for a little bit. Hopefully, hopefully won't be as big of a gap as the last one that just happened. Yeah, I was like extremely busy during that time, but there still probably will be at least something of a delay for uploads across the board when I am actually moving. I'm already doing bits and pieces of packing right now. I really only have to move small stuff. I'm basically going raw with furniture. It's going to be so ghetto in there for a little bit. But I'm literally just bringing like my desk and like that's it. Everything else furniture wise, I'm going to have to you know, figure out myself, which is going to be pretty yucky. But I'm honestly ready to just get out there and not necessarily be on my own because I'm gonna have roommates, but just be out of the house. It's gonna be really nice not having to worry about the being able to make some more of my own rules in a house instead of having to just follow the rules given to me by my parent. You know, it's just like that's kind of nice. So see if we can't find any more caves. I got bored of searching for actual caves, and now I'm just like doing just the X-ray method at this point because I'm not going to be taking the time to explore all these caves. This is Y12. There could be diamonds around here somewhere. Again, that's like the main reason we came down here was diamonds. Get rid of some of this loot. Get rid of the sand. Get rid of some of this cobblestone. We don't need all that. And let's see, which way do we want to go here? What way are we feeling? I guess we'll go to this one. This one looks like it might actually be at like the lowest depth. So go this way. A bunch of other mobs just spawned down there. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll find some slimes too. I'll always take fighting slimes in this version. It's really hard to, you know, we don't have swamps, and they also don't, and even when swamps are first added, they don't actually spawn in swamps. So, slimes are always really nice to come across. There's something I was just thinking about is that in like beta, well, I just had a voice crack right there. Wow. I'm not even going to cut that out. It's just going to stay in the video. But what I was going to say was, it's kind of maybe an unpopular opinion, but I'm actually a huge fan of the way swamps look, like the original swamps. I'm a huge fan of the grass color, the leaf color, the general aesthetic, all the water everywhere. I just like the swamps. And look at that. We finally got our diamonds. I really wanted to name this episode like Diamond Bonanza or something. Like, you know, like signaling that I got a lot of diamonds. But at this point, it's starting to look like it's not going to be called that. But that's probably that's okay. Only 1 diamond so far. Kind of yucky, but you know, we're still working on it. But what I was saying was I really like swamps. And the reason I bring that up is because when we do update, which like I said, I'm feeling is going to be sooner rather than later. I don't know if it's 1.8 or beta 1.8 or beta 1.9. But one of those versions resets all the biomes and terrain generation. I know 1.8 is the terrain generation, but I don't know when some of the other biomes are added per se. So we'll kind of have to just see from there. But I'm honestly kind of hoping. I'm very excited to see what our where our like base and all that is gonna turn into, like what it's gonna be when it updates. Oh, there's a spider jockey. That's absolutely terrible. Yeah, suffocate that skeleton. I'm kind of hoping it's a swamp, but there's no telling. So more than likely we're gonna have a major shift in our like some of the colors in our base area. Don't even be surprised if it like changes multiple times, like in the base area by itself. Just be prepared for like there to be like swamp colored stuff and like desert colored stuff. And then also, you know, all right, yeah, there we go. It's getting messed up. But yeah, there's gonna be all sorts of different like grass colors that are gonna like spawn. You want to attack the skeleton that shot you instead of me? Here. Okay, that was kind of scary. A lot of mobs spawned in there. Let's see, this is peak diamond area, stuff like this that we just found. Peak diamond area, I'm telling you. I think the first time we found diamonds, though, was in a knot area like that. Can't. It's hard to explore this area with all this freaking water. Jeez. Okay. Not much up here. There isn't a diamond in this area. That's a little unfortunate. Like, that's not even, like, I'm gonna crash out or anything. That's just, like, just genuinely disappointing. I don't know if it's in this version, but I believe I read somewhere that gold is actually spawns less frequently in, than diamond. However, because it can be found at higher Y levels, it seems like there's more of it. And also, like, I know in modern versions, gold is more common at certain levels. But in these versions, there's an equal distribution across all Y levels. So, like, mining at, like, you know, Y11 is, for diamonds at least, is effectively the same as mining at Y16. The only one that isn't like that is lapis, but I don't know what the way that's calculated is. I'd have to do more research on that. But I know for a fact that ore distribution... Holy, that scared me. Oh my god. But ore distribution in this version is equal across all Y levels. Except they just have hard caps at where they can generate. So, like, diamonds can't generate above Y level 16. But Y level 16 and below, diamonds have a completely equal spawn rate across the board. Same with gold. But because gold is found across, like, all Y levels, it feels more common than diamonds. I don't know. It's, there's probably someone out there that knows Minecraft code well enough to actually, like, do, like, a full breakdown of how it works. I'm sure someone on Reddit knows. There's always someone on Reddit who knows. The people on Reddit are, like, crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the actual cure to cancer is just like out there on, like a 9-year-old Reddit thread, and, like, the FBI doesn't even know about it yet. I don't know. Reddit is just like a crazy place. And it's not like 4chan where it's like evil. It's more just like it's more like ignorant evil, if that makes sense. Like 4chan just has like genuinely evil people on it. But like Reddit has like these people that are just like they just completely miss like the point. Like there was this post where like so for some context, there was a study that was done. So there is some actual validity to this, but there was a study done that showed that playing Tetris can actually massively reduce stress and make you feel like just generally better if you play it. Because like I didn't actually like read the study, but like they were just like, yeah, Tetris reduces stress and can moderate mood levels if you play it. I'm sure a lot of video games are like that, but like Tetris has like an overwhelmingly positive effect like that. Um, but there was like this post where like this guy was talking about like his mom like dying in a car accident or something, and this guy on there just like just says, this may sound strange, but believe me, play Tetris. You'll feel so much better. And then like everyone in the comments was like, dude, this is not the time to be saying that. Like it was quite possibly one of the funniest things ever. Um I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes be on Reddit just like stirring up problems every so often, just like making the most just evil posts on there. Probably my favorite one. Like I'll be I'm not gonna call it rage baiting because rage baiting is such a stupid term. Trolling just works. Trolling just means so much more to me. But I like to troll on Reddit a little bit. I think my favorite one though, I went to this subreddit called r/metalcore, which is metalcore is obviously a genre of metal music. Um, I only like early 2000s metalcore, so like Attack Attack, Asking Alexandria. But people go on there and talk about like modern metalcore and stuff and like all the time. And every so often there's a post, like just a genre of post that'll pop up on there where people complain about people moshing at a metal show. Now, obviously, if you're at a metal show, and nowadays with just how things are, if anything just is like slightly hard or heavy, it doesn't even have to necessarily be like metal music. People will mosh to it. Um, when I saw Blade, the rapper Blade, part of Drain Gang, if you know them, people were moshing for him, and his music isn't really that hard at all. I mean, some of his songs are harder, but they're not like hard, and people were moshing to that. But before I go on a tangent, I basically there was this guy on metalcore who was like, I was just at a show for Alpha Wolf, and let me just say the crowd killing was absolutely egregious. Like that was his words. Like he was like the crowd killing was absolutely egregious. And if you don't know what crowd killing is this style of moshing. Um, it usually stems from hardcore dancing, which that's also a style of moshing. Lots of styles of moshing. But crowd killing is essentially where you hardcore dance like essentially into the crowd, and that can include like windmilling your arms backwards into the crowd, spin kicking into the crowd, um, like straight like running and like starfishing into the crowd, like just jumping into them, straight up just punching people on the side of the pit. That's a pretty common crowd killing method. It's just straight up punching people in the pit. Um, and before I even like talk about it, I've definitely partaken in crowd killing before. I go to a lot of hardcore shows, so I be crowd killing a lot. But there was this band that went up before Alpha Wolf, who was a metalcore band, and the band that went before them was this band called Malevolence, which Malevolence is a hardcore band. I'm not a very big fan of them, but they are a hardcore band, and some of their riffs are pretty nutty and pretty heavy. So these, like 20 guys that are like hardcore kids as opposed to metalcore kids roll up and start hardcore dancing. Now, from the way it sounds, these guys weren't actually crowd killing. Like, they were just dancing. They weren't actually being, like, aggressive. But this guy just made this super long-winded post about it on r/metalcore. And then r/hardcore found out about it and started making fun of him really hard. And I decided to take things into my own hands. And I made a post called, like, a charitable take on crowd killing. That was the title, was a charitable take on crowd killing. And so I go on there and I'm like, hello, everyone. I'm like, hello, guys. So recently there's been some unreasonable discourse with it. Oh, God. Okay, that could have been bad. Get in there. Yeah, yeah. I was like, recently there's been some discourse on r/metalcore about crowd killing. I just want to say, our metalcore stands for metallic hardcore, meaning that it has its roots in hardcore, meaning that, let's go, meaning that crowd killing probably is going to stick around for a while, whether we like it or not. And I'm just like, I'm just going off and, you know, I'm just like talking about like how crowd killing is part of the culture or whatever. And then I talk about like, I'm like, however, it needs to be understood that there is a time and place to crowd kill. Crowd killing should not be done at certain shows where crowd killing is not acceptable. And then I proceeded to follow up by saying, but metalcore shows, meaning metallic hardcore, is hardcore for a reason, meaning that crowd killing is completely reasonable and acceptable. If you see something, I'm just like, if you see someone standing there and they look like a little loser boy, you got to show them the ropes. Like, you got to just go full on in there and just absolutely decimate those kids. If you see a girl, if you see a 16-year-old girl and you're a 25-year-old man, you need to punch her in the face. Like, I was just like going off. And then I was like, metallic hardcore, again, is metalcore. And we want only the hardest and strongest people in our scene. We have no place for weak people in our culture. And I just dropped that on r/metalcore, just like a complete 180, just from like, we need to make sure that crowd killing is done at a reasonable time to just, I want you to punch and I want someone leaving in a gurney, okay? Just complete 180 in my tone. And people did not like that post one bit, okay? Let me tell you, people did not like that post. They thought it was the most evil post that anyone has ever conceived. I was getting messages of people just like, people telling me to like unalive myself. It was crazy. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And what ended up happening is after about a day, it ended up getting locked and deleted by the mods on r/metalcore, which I then promptly copy and pasted the entire post onto another subreddit called r/metal for the masses. And it didn't get taken down. So if you go to r/metal for the masses and look up r/metalcore, or if you look up a charitable take on crowd killing, you will find my post on there. It is still up. And there's like a bunch of people on there like, well, maybe you should like go crowd kill in an MMA fighters gym. I think they'd really like you there. And I was just like, why on earth would I crowd kill in an MMA gym? See, like, I'm just like, there are rules in MMA fighting, such as you can't hit people in the back of the neck. In crowd killing, you can do whatever you want. Why would I crowd kill at an MMA gym? And it just like people just, it was another one of those posts where people just did not like it. But yeah, I really like trolling on Reddit. Like, people on Reddit are very easy to just like manipulate into just getting mad. Like, there was one guy on the post that was like 10 out of 10 rage bait. Like, just it's so fun just to go onto Reddit and do like a lot of trolling. Like, you really just got to do it. If you haven't done it before, I highly recommend you do it. You'll get a kick out of it. Just make sure you balance it out by spreading joy. You got to make sure you spread joy every so often. Because if you only rage bait, then you're not only is everyone gonna know that you're doing it, but then also you're not equalizing the, you know, yin and yang, right? You're not equalizing the damage you're doing. You got every bad action needs a good reaction, okay? So if you go and you troll on r/bluey or something, you got to make sure that you're following it up by like posting a really awesome dog photo on r/dogs. Okay, like you just got to balance it out. That's what I do. You know, I troll, and then I go onto r/moths and I post a picture of a moth that I found. That's just how I roll. You know, you just got to make sure you're balancing everything out. All right, this is ski. Oh! We're in another place that I've already lit up. I mined like back into a place I was already at. That's crazy. But it's okay. It's like a new section in where we were before. We at what, 7 diamonds? Yeah, we're at 7 diamonds. That's actually pretty good. But it's not good enough. Pretty good is not good. We gotta get more diamonds. That's just the, like, I want a full stack of diamonds in my chest at home again. Having like 40 to 42 is not acceptable. Now, I mean, I guess it would help if I didn't make 2 diamond pickaxes. But at the same time, I didn't want to start using iron picks. I think like a long time ago, I think I said that like iron is king. I completely rescind that notion. I have come around to realize that diamond tools just make way more sense. Now, iron armor, I get. Because since the way armor mechanics work in this version, you might as well just use iron because you get like the best defense for like, oh, let's go. Okay, maybe I really just got to start mining out like the iron and stuff. That's where the diamonds seem to be. But as I was saying, you get like the best like durability to like ratio to like defense, because obviously the more durability your armor has, the more defense it has. So I feel like it's not worth using diamonds on armor in this version, just because like I feel like the diamond armor would just chip away too quickly for what it's worth. And iron, considering it's everywhere, you can pretty easily get a decent amount of iron very easily and replace your armor. Like, I mean, if I really needed to while I'm down here, I could just plop down a furnace and already I have a little over 2.5 stacks of iron that I can use for whatever. But diamond tools, you actually get like a lot more bang for your buck because they're faster. Their durability, I believe, is almost double of iron. And it's also more of a flex. And maybe we will be able to title this video Diamond Bonanza, because right now we just found what, like 8 diamonds in like in like 2 minutes, maybe? That's pretty crazy, actually. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. Oh. Where are you? We run out of food. That's bad. I'm not finding any mushrooms down here. My plan was to hopefully find some mushrooms while we were down here so I could, you know, like make more food, but it's looking like that's not going to be the case. Are these all hostile mobs? I'm going to do something really funny. Wow. Okay. Yeah, those were mostly all hostile mobs. That's crazy. I know I'm abusing the X-ray feature a little bit, but you know what? It's in the game. It's basically an intended feature if it's in the game, okay? If it's not like a literal bug and it's in the game, it's an intended feature. So, and this right here, this is not a bug. This is just me using the resources put before me. I'm being efficient. I'm working smarter and not harder. Now, as a manager, I love to see that. Work smarter, not harder. If you figure out a system that's better for you to work, then you should like do that. Because like if my method doesn't work as well for you, but it still gets the job done to the same point that my method does, that works for me, I ain't going to complain about it. It's kind of funny. So I said I'm a manager, right? I'm an assistant manager for a Domino's, okay? I work at Domino's. It's not the worst job ever. It could be better, but it's not the worst job ever. My only gripe with this is I wish it paid just a little bit more. But overall, I'm pretty content with this job. But the way I became an assistant manager is like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna swear, but I got promoted to a shift lead, and then when the assistant manager interviews came around, I literally just like pulled shit out of my ass. Like I literally just like, I came up with like just the most insane response to one of their questions. And you know, for the most part, the interview for like the assistant manager spot was probably what you would expect for someone like wanting to move up in management. They're like, okay, so like, do you know how to keep track of your goals? Do you know like, all right, you run into this problem. How would you go about fixing it? You know, like stuff like that. But they had this one question, and it was really like I didn't know how to answer it besides saying I wanted to get paid more. Like I feel like I probably should have just been honest and been like, yeah, I want to make more money. And they probably would have been like, that's fair. Because I know that like if I'm ever doing an interview for just like a driver or a guy that's gonna make food, like I'm just gonna be like, all right, why'd you apply here? And they're always gonna hit like, oh well, you know, I thought it sounded interesting. Like, dude, just say you wanted, you just needed money. You know what I mean? Like that's such a valid answer in this day and age, right? But they were like, why did you want to move up? And I was like, well, you see, right now, I really wanted to be a teacher, you know? And originally I was going to school for to become a history teacher. And what I realized was that when I became a shift manager, what originally was a job to make more money, I saw that I actually became the teacher I wanted to be. Dude, I do like barely any teaching at all, you know? But like when they called me back to tell me that I got the assistant manager spot, like my supervisor was like, you know, your statement about wanting to be a teacher was a very good one, and I'm really glad that that's what you said, because that you are a teacher as a manager. You do teach people. That's part of your job. You make sure that people know what they're doing. I wouldn't really call it teaching. I would call it more like, you know, training, not teaching. But you know, what do I know, right? Like I just do the job. I just go in there, make sure the numbers look good, make sure people are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then I clock out. Now I do close a lot. That's kind of, there's two assistant managers at my store, me and another manager, and we basically have like flop schedules. Um, they they open on or they close on Monday through Wednesday usually, and I'm usually like opening Monday through Wednesday or something along those lines. Monday, some of those days. Some of those days also are taken by other managers. But I almost always close on the weekends. And I mean, that's one of my biggest like gripes, I guess I would say, with my job is always closing on like Saturdays and Fridays. I wouldn't mind doing one or the other, but it's kind of annoying working both Friday and Saturday like every weekend, because then all my friends are like able to just like party without me. I miss a lot of activities just because I close all the time on Friday and Saturday. Like really, I only get it off if I like specifically request it off. Um, I mean, the money's nice, but the hours are also kind of crazy on those days. It's like working like, you work like 5 to 1 in the morning. But those are just the operating hours, you know? So like, I mean, we're open from 10, but you know, you come in at 5 right at rush starts, and then you're working until 1 in the morning. And that's just when you close. That's not including all of the, you know, additional work you have to do to actually properly close the store. Still a lot of stuff to do. So you're probably not even leaving until like 2 or 2:30 in the morning. Maybe even later if it's a really bad night. But I've always been like a bit of a night owl. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've uploaded videos at like 5 in the morning my time. Like, I think a good majority of my videos get uploaded like ridiculously early in the morning my time. So I mean, if you guys are in like Europe or something, it's probably not a big deal. It's probably actually pretty nice, because then it's like, oh, it's about noon, you know, because like if I'm uploading it at 5, I want to say that's like noon in like I know there was a 7-hour time difference from here in Ireland when I was there, so it's probably around the same time in like Spain and France and the United Kingdom and all of that. So it'd be a little bit different in Germany, but you know, it's probably pretty nice if you're over there, because it's probably going to be around noon or so. But like if you're me, you're uploading it at like 5 in the morning and you're like not even tired, and then you sleep. Okay, what is this lag spike? And then you don't sleep, and then you sleep in until like, you know, 2 in the afternoon. I think part of that is because I close so much. But I've always been much more of a night owl, staying up late. I mean, right now it's 12:11. I close tomorrow, and just here I am playing Minecraft, right? Always just kind of had a rough sleep schedule. Even when I had like, I guess, something of a decent sleep schedule, I was still going to sleep at like 11:45 every night. Um, Always had like a more bad-ish sleep schedule. More stuff over here? Looks like it. It's over here. A lot of nothing. A lot of nothing. Let's see, where we got some more mobs at? Got some over there. Let's go over here. But yeah, I I got that promotion just like completely out of like the biggest, like, stupidest thing ever. Like the fact that it worked too is kind of mind-boggling to me. Like I really did just like pull that out of nothing when I said that. Like just like sat there for a second. You know, I had to hit him with the like, think about that. You know, like just there's just so much I enjoy. Let's go. Another at least 5. It's crazy. We're almost at a full stack again. That's huge. Finding good good. What started off weak, we're making up for really hard right now. This is really good. There's another cave here. Diamonds? Diamonds question mark? No? That's okay if not. Well, this cave might actually be pretty big. There probably will be some diamonds in here, actually. But I'm not complaining. It's the whole point of this expedition. Again. Oh, and gold. How much gold do we have, actually? 53? That's pretty good, actually. Oh, and more lapis and more gold. Always gold. Always mine the gold. Gold is very important. And I'll take the lapis, too. We're only at 38 lapis. I need to kind of do a check on all of my ore reserves. I haven't really done a proper tally of all my ores and such. Also, I'm still getting little lag spikes. I'm not sure what those are. They're starting to bug me. I also just realized I have 2 slices of bread in my inventory. So that'll help with some of the... If any of the mobs start jumping me, it'll help out a little bit. That zombie. Is it right above me? Right below me? Where is that? Right there. Pink. Okay. Maybe no diamonds in here, but I'll take the gold and the lapis that we found. Here. I really need to make a point of mining more coal. I think I've said it before, but you really, really seriously need to like focus and maintain a steady supply of coal, because it will sneak up on you when you least expect it. I've had it happen a couple times when I've been gathering resources for stuff on this world, and I've definitely had it happen plenty of times on other worlds that I haven't recorded. So just always, always, always put gold, like don't put aside coal. In modern versions, you know, there's so many other fuel sources, so it's probably not as big a deal. I mean, if you have like a blaze rod farm, you could probably just use blaze rods. Probably the most efficient fuel source, honestly, is blaze rods. But in beta, you got coal, charcoal, and wood, and like sticks and stuff, but nobody uses sticks. That's like a terrible idea. Okay, let's see here. All right, cooperate with me here. You know what might make it easier? That. And we got to make more torches. We are getting a lot of resources here. It's an absolute metric ton of resources. Which again, not complaining at all. Before I poke down there, I want to make sure there's no mobs that are going to sneak up on me. Whole lot of nothing. That's okay. So we still got quite a bit of cave up here to explore. Looks like we'll start right here. Oh! Oh! And there's skeletons shooting at me somewhere. And there's a creeper right here. Get down there. Ah, you're stuck. Are we even in diamond? We are not in diamond territory, so we need to go down deeper. Mushroom. Oh, lag spike. Oh my goodness. If the game crashes, I'm also going to be rather upset. But I think that's just a given. If your game crashes, you're just going to be upset anyway. Not going to worry about that iron that's behind that. Mining around lava is sometimes a pretty decent way to get diamonds. You can find, just because it clears out a lot of space, you can find diamonds just kind of around lava and such. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's like a certified diamond finding method, but I have found diamonds quite a few times just by mining around lava pools. I think there's like a crazy, like, odd specific diamond mining method that someone found out a long time ago. I don't remember what it is. It had like a Japanese name. And it was like an absolutely insane diamond method. Like, you would like mine in like something of a spiral, but it wasn't like exactly a spiral. It was really weird. I don't know how to describe it. I might have to go and... Come on now. Cooperate with me here. There we go. Place cobblestone everywhere where it shouldn't have gone. But yeah, there's like a diamond mining method that's like... It was really efficient, but I don't remember what exactly it was. I feel like strip mining methods and stuff, like saying one is more efficient than the other is like kind of hard to do because it like, yeah, obviously there's different ore distribution and stuff, but like I feel like a good majority of it basically just depends on your luck in finding the diamonds in the first place. Because even if you mine at the place where the most diamonds would spawn, you would still have to like actually run into them, you know? And any specific mining method could theoretically run you into the most amount of diamonds. Like, the one that everyone considers to be the least efficient could yield more diamonds than the one that's considered to be the most efficient. So I feel like it's a little bit, like, there's probably math behind it that I don't understand or something, but I feel like saying that one strip mining method is more effective than the other is kind of just BS. It all comes down to really just personal preference. Like, obviously you can get further mining and like the one by one crawling tunnel method thing, but I don't know. Also, it feels like I am getting frame drops. Like, I'm going from like 500 to like 200. You are seeing that. Oh. Hi there. No, you weren't down here. Oh, shoot. Oh, baby. Better be something good in that chest. Golden apple. I'll take cocoa beans. I will take cocoa beans. Cocoa beans are pretty uncommon in this version. The only way to dye wool brown, I mean, you can find brown sheep, but it's the only way to dye wool brown. Oh my god, lag. I might have to call it quits here in a minute if it keeps lagging like this really bad. Because that might be what it is. It might be... The world might just be struggling right now. I'm not really sure why. There might be, you know, if I look around, maybe there's too many mobs or something. No. Something's going on. Give me more. Give me my mossy cobblestone. Always collect the mossy cobblestone. I'm pretty sure there's a transmutation glitch for for moss stone and cobblestone, but to be honest, who's got time for that? Maybe this will go somewhere really good too. No, we're not doing this right now. Alright. Every skeleton I see in this game kind of just like takes a little bit of my soul away from me. It really does. Especially I'd honestly rather deal with like the aimbot skeletons of today rather than the rapid fire skeletons of now. Or I say of now, of beta. I just feel like they're more OP in beta than they are now. Don't get me wrong, the aimbot skeletons can be absolutely terrible, especially in like water and stuff like that. But these guys can also be just equally as bad. And when you have like 4 of them shooting at you all at once, it is a miserable time. Because you can still like sprint and stuff in modern Minecraft, so you can still more like realistically dodge them, I guess. But it's still just like crazy. Like in beta, just how stupid the skeletons are. And also like they have these really weird trajectories that they use. Like I don't know if you've noticed it, but like they shoot it like a very weird arch in this version. Instead of it being a lot more of a straight line, they shoot in a very big arch. And part of that is like the way the physics are in this version, but I don't know, it's just way more annoying than some of this other stuff. Let's see. Dirt. At this point, we're just going to kind of backtrack and mine some of the ores that we missed. And I think we're going to start wrapping up this episode because we are inching up on an 1.5 hour long video. And I'd want this one to be at least less edited than my more recent videos. I want it to be more of a just kind of moving around thing. The first little bit of the episode is going to be mostly unedited, or it's going to be mostly edited because I didn't really find this cave until then. But I mean, I guess that first cave I went into, I could have just like done the X-ray stuff to find other caves in it, but I didn't really. Oh, okay, that's the way I came. I was like, there's no way there's also a spawner right there. Which gold do we have? Almost 4 stacks. That's pretty good. I need to really like, I probably just need to make a time to just go and mine like exclusively coal. Because I still have a decent amount of it, but again, when you're using it for torches and you're using it for smelting ores, you will run out of it really quick. So I probably just need to dedicate like a time off camera to just go and mine a whole bunch of coal. Did we get everything in here? No, we did not. I have to start throwing out stuff again for coal. But it looks like we're still fine for now. Go down here yet and mine everything? Because I think I'm going to look for one more decent sized cave. Which might just be above us, but I'd rather stay down here where the diamonds could be. Let's see if there's anything. A lot of zombies. That could be a spawner. Well, I think I'm going to cut it real quick, and I'm going to go check and see if that's a spawner or not. And then if it is, I'll come back, but if not, then we'll just go find another cave. Yeah, that's got to be a spawner, right? Yep. It is indeed a spawner. Ow. Ouchie. We need more torches ASAP. I ain't talking Rocky. We need torches right now. We don't even need the full however many now. We just need enough to keep this thing from spawning. All right. Thoughts and prayers. Not thoughts and prayers, just prayers. Golden apple. No. Double no. Tragic. But yeah, this is just a isolated zombie spawner. I thought I heard a little bit too much moaning for it to be just a random chance. Fun fact. So something I've noticed about these something about this version is that mobs spawn in clusters of up to 4. So you can have one mob spawn of any type up to 4 in one like cluster. So if you kind of go back to my episode where I was making the mob grinder, like the Ethos Lab design one, not the zombie spawner one. You may notice that when I had my X-ray stuff on, watching it from up above, that some of the mobs spawned, you know, you would see 4 tags pop up all in one group, or you would see just 1 or 2 or 3. So mobs can spawn in clusters of up to 4 in these versions, and at minimum 1. Spawners can spawn more than 4 at a time. They can spawn 5. And I've noticed that by watching my zombie spawner kind of operate. So that's just something to note. If you ever use your, if you ever play beta and you're using your little X-ray stuff, and you see 5 mobs pop in all at once, that's probably a spawner. Now, I do think it also depends on how much space there is in the spawner itself. So, like, if you get one that's, like, loaded up with chests and kind of has, like, some weird generation or something, might not work as well. But if you see 5 mobs spawn at once, then it's definitely a spawner. Someone might be able to fact check me on that, but just from watching it, I have noticed like mob grinders spawn up to 5 mobs in one go. So they could spawn more. Maybe they don't spawn up to 5, and I just saw it. Oh, let's go right into them. Maybe I kind of miss something, or who knows what. But I'm fairly certain that mob grinders spawn groups of 5. And how did I miss these? Hello. More in here? Yeah, there are. Always mine around the diamonds, you see. Let's see. 28. That's over a stack now. All right. I think, though, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. I've been rambling for a while. And we did just mining today, but again, like I said, you know, we need the resources. And the game's called Minecraft for a reason. If you don't mine and you get your resources from other sources, then you're just, I'm sorry, you're just playing the game wrong. It's called Minecraft. It's in the title. Take your time to mine. I mean, in beta, you kind of have to mine, but modern day. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. One last message before I go. Make sure, if you guys have any ideas, just leave them in the comments below. I really want to expand on that village to make it not like a bustling metropolis, but I want it to be at least a sizable village that's relatively noteworthy. So if you could leave a like, or not a like, I mean, if you want to leave a like, I've never asked for a like before. If you want to leave a like, you should do that. But if you want to leave a comment on the video, just kind of with some ideas about things to build besides the castle and the little market area that we're going to build, let me know. I do think I have a couple of ideas. I'm not going to say them out loud, but because I want to see what you guys have to say first. Because the ideas that I have in my head, I don't really know if they're, like, I don't know, you know, I'll just say it. The big one is like a barn of some sort. I don't really know how I would build it, but something of a barn for the village as well. But of course, I'm not sure when I'm going to work on that again. I think I want to do some other stuff before I pick it up again, kind of like the main base. We'll do some other stuff and then pick it up another time. But I am going to officially leave this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. and a double thank you if you made it this far. Once again, my name is Slappy Burger, and I hope you have a blessed evening.